Are you prepared for what's coming to the grocery aisles in 2024? In the realm of prepping, we've always got one eye on the present and the other on the horizon. It's not just about weathering storms or navigating power outages, it's also about anticipating market changes and adapting our strategies accordingly. When you're gearing up for the future, knowing which resources might become scarce or expensive is a valuable asset. So, let me share a bit of foresight that might come in handy. Based on current trends, market analysis, and the ever-persistent ripple effects of climate change, there are some grocery products that look like they're on track to become significantly pricier by 2024. Number 10. Almonds are a bit of a paradox, aren't they? On one hand, they're this amazing source of nutrients, loved in snacks, milks, and even in beauty products. But on the flip side, they're incredibly thirsty crops. Now, most of the world's almonds come from sunny California, which, ironically, struggles with frequent droughts. To put it into perspective, growing just a single almond can require over a gallon of water. So, as California grapples with water shortages, the cost of nurturing these nuts is likely going up. This means everything from your favorite almond milk latte to that crunchy snack might start pinching your wallet. It's an interesting situation, really, seeing how such a beloved, healthy nut is at the mercy of Mother Nature. Number 9. Beef steaks, burgers, Sunday roasts. But producing beef isn't a walk in the park. It's a whole tangle of feed prices, water use, land management, not to mention the environmental impacts. Countries like the US, Brazil, and Australia, where steaks are almost a part of the national identity, are feeling the heat. Climate change is throwing curveballs with erratic weather, affecting the feed quality and availability. Plus, there's the whole deal about how resource-intensive beef farming is. So don't be surprised if the price of your favorite cut starts climbing. This might actually nudge people to peek over the fence at other options. You know, like the growing world of plant-based meats that are trying really hard to mimic that beefy experience. Or maybe just a simple switch to chicken or turkey. It's kind of a nudge for all of us to rethink our plates, isn't it? Number 8. Honey. You and I both know it's not just a sweet treat. It's packed with antioxidants, it's got antimicrobial properties, and it's a natural energy booster. But here's the deal. Those hardworking bees are having a real rough time out there. When they're not dodging pesticides that mess with their navigation skills, they're battling with diseases and loss of their natural habitats. It's like a triple whammy for these little pollinators. So, when the bees are under threat, our honey supply feels the squeeze. And you know what happens next? That sweet, golden nectar gets pricier. For us preppers, it might be a good time to think about how we can support local beekeepers or even consider setting up our own hives. Number 7. Salmon. I'm sure many of you, like me, love a good grilled salmon steak or maybe some smoked salmon on a bagel. But here's the situation. Our oceans aren't in the best shape. Wild salmon, which many of us prefer because of its richer taste and nutritional profile, is facing a gauntlet of challenges. Overfishing is a major problem. Add to that the pollution messing up their habitats, and you've got a recipe for declining populations. And before you think, hey, I'll just switch to farmed salmon, remember this, they've got their own set of issues. Disease, parasites, and sometimes even the conditions they're farmed under can impact their health and, by extension, their numbers. As demand continues to outpace supply, it's only logical that we'll be shelling out more bucks for our beloved fish. Number 6. Wheat. You know, the backbone of our daily bread, pastas, and a whole lot more. Now, wheat isn't just a crop. It's a global powerhouse with countries like China, India, Russia, and the USA leading the charge in production. But here's the catch. Wheat is incredibly sensitive to weather changes. Think about it. A severe drought or an unexpected flood can wreak havoc on wheat fields, slashing yields dramatically. What does that mean for us? Well, it's simple yet concerning. When wheat yields dip, the prices for anything made with wheat are bound to jump up. This isn't just about paying more at the store. It's about potential shortages of some of the most basic food items many people rely on. For us preppers, it underscores the importance of having a diverse food stock, and maybe even considering alternative grains that are less affected by these environmental extremes. Number 5. Soybeans. These little beans might not seem like much at first glance, but they're titans in the food industry. Soybeans are everywhere, in various food products, cooking oils, and they're a key component in animal feed. Major players in soybean production include the US, Brazil, and Argentina. But just like with wheat, they're at the mercy of our ever-shifting climate. As global weather patterns continue to change, soybean crops are facing more challenges, which could lead to fluctuations in their availability and price. This could have a ripple effect, impacting not just products made directly from soybeans, but also the meat industry, since soy is a primary component of feed for livestock. Number 4. Oranges. Who doesn't love a fresh glass of orange juice or a juicy orange as a snack? They're packed with vitamin C, making them a go-to, especially during cold and flu season. But here's the issue: citrus greening disease. This bacterial infection, spread by tiny insects, has been a nightmare for orange groves, especially in places like Florida, which is a huge supplier. This disease stunts the growth of the fruit and eventually kills the tree. And let's not forget the weather. With climate change throwing more curveballs in terms of weather patterns, orange crops are increasingly vulnerable. What does this mean for us? A significant drop in orange production is on the horizon, and naturally this will lead to increased prices for both oranges and orange juice. For those of us who rely on oranges for our daily dose of vitamin C, it's time to think about alternative sources or perhaps even growing our own, if the climate permits. Number 3. Pork, as a significant player in the global meat market, is currently facing a range of complex challenges that impact not only its availability, but also its price. One of the major issues is the swine flu outbreaks. These outbreaks aren't just isolated incidents. They've been happening recurrently, and each time they do, they can decimate pig populations. This doesn't just mean a temporary drop in pork production, it can lead to long-term consequences for farmers and consumers alike. Recovery from such outbreaks can take time, and in the interim, we see a significant impact on the pork supply chain. Another critical factor in the pork industry is the rising cost of feed. This increase isn't occurring in isolation. It's closely linked to the challenges facing crops like soybeans, which are a key component of animal feed. Issues like climate change, pests, and diseases can decrease soybean production, driving up the cost. This, in turn, makes it more expensive to raise pigs, a cost that often gets passed on to consumers. Then there's the aspect of environmental regulations. As the world becomes more aware of the impact of climate change, many countries are implementing stricter environmental regulations. These regulations can affect how pigs are raised, processed, and transported. Adapting to these changes can be costly for farmers, who then may have to invest in new technologies or change their farming practices. This too can contribute to higher costs in the pork industry. China plays a pivotal role in the global pork market. As the world's largest consumer and producer of pork, any changes or disruptions in China's pork industry have far-reaching effects. Whether it's a swine flu outbreak, changes in domestic policy, or shifts in consumer demand within China, these factors can cause significant fluctuations in the global pork market. When China experiences a shortage, it often needs to import more pork, which can drive up prices internationally. Conversely, if China reduces its pork consumption or increases its production, this can lead to a surplus in the global market. All these factors, disease outbreaks, feed costs, environmental regulations, and China's role in the pork market, combine to create a highly volatile situation. We're likely to see fluctuations in pork availability and price, which can have ripple effects on everything from the cost of a pork chop in a grocery store to the stability of agricultural economies. This volatility also underscores the interconnectedness of global markets and how a change in one area can have cascading effects worldwide. Number 2, avocados. Avocados, the beloved creamy fruit that's become a staple in kitchens and restaurants worldwide, especially in dishes like guacamole or on toast. But here's the catch. Avocados are pretty high maintenance. They require a lot of water to grow, similar to almonds, and are mostly cultivated in specific climates found in Mexico, California, Peru, and Chile. The increasing water scarcity, coupled with changing climate conditions, is making avocado farming more challenging. Add to this the rising demand worldwide, and it's a recipe for soaring prices. There's also been social and political unrest in some major avocado-producing regions, further complicating the supply chain. So brace yourselves for potentially paying a premium for your next avocado treat, or perhaps considering some alternative, less water-intensive fruits. Number 1. Coffee. This one hits hard for a lot of us. Coffee isn't just a beverage. For many, it's a daily ritual, an art form, and a vital start to the morning. The issue with coffee, particularly Arabica beans, which are favored for their flavor, is that they are extremely sensitive to temperature changes and susceptible to diseases and pests. As climate change continues to impact weather patterns, major coffee-producing countries like Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, and Ethiopia are facing significant challenges. Unpredictable rainfall, higher temperatures, and new diseases are affecting coffee yields. The rising costs of production, labor, and transportation are all adding up. Plus, there's an increasing awareness and demand for sustainable, ethically produced coffee, which, while positive for the industry and the environment, can add to the cost. For coffee lovers around the world, this could mean digging deeper into our pockets for our beloved brew. It's a situation that may encourage us to savor every sip and perhaps explore locally grown or alternative coffee sources. As we wrap up our video on the top 10 food products facing soaring prices in 2024, it's clear that the shifts in global agriculture are more than just numbers on a price tag. They are signals, urging us to adapt, rethink our consumption, and even step up our self-reliance. From the water-intensive almond orchards of California to the coffee fields grappling with climate change, each item on our list tells a story of a world in transition. For preppers, this is a crucial moment. It's not just about stocking up, but also about understanding the complexities behind our food systems. The rise in prices for essentials like wheat, soybeans, and even our favorite avocados reflect deeper issues: climate change, diseases, environmental degradation, and the intricate dance of global supply chains. But remember, knowledge is power. By staying informed and proactive, we can better navigate these changes. Whether it's supporting local farmers, exploring home gardening, or even reevaluating our dietary choices, every step counts. And now, we turn to you, our valued community. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel for more insightful content like this. Hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and comment below to share which food products you've noticed are becoming pricier in your area. Your input is not just welcomed, it's essential for a community-driven conversation. Then, we also want to take a moment to thank you for watching. Your engagement and support make this journey into preparedness and awareness not just a solitary path, but a shared venture. So, keep the comments coming, share this video with friends who might find it useful, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay prepared, stay informed, and most importantly, stay resilient in the face of these changing times.